Welcome to WeWake. Once again, we have with us Dr. Vishwanath ji. Welcome, Vishwanath ji.
Namaste. Thank you.
It's a privilege having him back again. Last time we had discussed a lot on Sanātana Dharma. A couple of questions which I think a layman would always want to ask and know about. Today, of course, we've got a lot more questions. And of course, now this time we are getting more into a little bit of philosophy along with something more interesting. One of the topics that we really like is astrology. I think everybody has a liking for it. Even believers or non-believers are always intrigued by the concept of astrology. So, Vishwanath ji, we'd like you to throw some light on astrology. Firstly, for me, as a layman, what is astrology?
Yeah, it is a wonderful question, I must say, because most of the times when there is a discussion going on in the world about astrology, the fundamental thing that is missing is defining astrology. So let us not use the word astrology for a second. Let us see what is the word that has been used for astrology in Sanskrita, in our Shastras.
Alright.
The word is Jyotisha or Jyotisham. Now, they have defined, the Shastras define Jyotisham as Jyotimshi Graha Nakshatrani Tad Adhikritya Kritam Shastram Jyotisham, which means that Grahas and Nakshatras. Again, I am refraining myself from giving the English popular alternative for Grahas and Nakshatras, because the way it has been translated as planets and stars, they do not match, they do not align with the idea of our rishis when they called something as a graha.
Okay.
I want to explain, before I throw light on what is Jyotisham, I want to explain why they are called as grahas. Graha means grinhati iti graha. That which picks, that which holds is called as graha. What is it holding? It is holding the secrets of karma phala. Therefore, that which holds, it's like an embedded system. A graha is an embedded system, that which has all the details encrypted within it, and it appears to be one file. It's like a zip file, we can imagine like that. So anything that gives us access to our previous karma phala can be called as graha, and there are 9 of them. So this is graha according to us. Now you can observe how this meaning cannot by any margin be equated with planets, because planets mean heavenly bodies. By graha we mean this particular aspect of the heavenly bodies.
Okay.
We are not suggesting that they are not heavenly bodies, that they do not exist physically in the world either. They do exist in the physical world, or they do have a physical form, a physical shape, their movement, everything can be tracked, can be calculated. All of that is true. But when we are terming them, when we are calling them as graha, this is the perspective that we have towards graha.
Okay.
And then comes nakshatra. Nakshatra means na ksharati iti nakshatram. That which doesn't move is called as nakshatra.
Okay.
So even in the sky, the nakshatra chakram is fixed. It doesn't move. The stars don't move. They are fixated in one place. When we say that moon is in this particular nakshatra today, what we mean is we are mapping the moon's movement.
Correct.
And in order to map something, we need something that is actually stagnant, that which is sthira in some place.
Like a reference point.
Yes, and that those reference points are the stars, and we are mapping the movement of these planets, of these heavenly bodies, of these grahas to those stars. So Jyotisha is basically a study of grahas and nakshatras. This is one part of Jyotisha. This is like surface level understanding of Jyotisha.
Got it.
And if we dig a little bit deeper into Jyotisha, it is completely related to Jyoti. Jyoti here refers to light, and the energy. Na tatra suryo bhati na chandra tarakam nema vidyuto bhanti kuto yamagnihi is what Kathopanishad says. When Yama was describing the Parabrahma to Nachiketa, he says that in that Paranjyoti, none of the other illuminating things, whether they are self-illuminating or reliant on some other source, none of them come close to the light emitted by that Paranjyoti. So that Jyoti and how its evolution has covered this entire universe. The study of evolution of light is also part of Jyotisha. This is the deeper meaning of Jyotisha. Okay. So it's not merely, as far as I understand, nowadays Jyotisha has become a tool, a medium to understand the problems that we may be facing currently, we may face in future, and to find out remedies, suitable remedies for that. While I do not deny that Jyotisha does this job, it is not meant to do only this much of a job for us.
It is nowadays used as a hack.
Yes.
I'm having a problem in life.
Yes.
Let's go to an astrologer.
Correct.
Find out what the problem is. Give me a solution.
Yes.
And let's attend the problem.
It is like, using a supercomputer for writing down a list of groceries.
Okay.
I mean, you can do plenty more things with that. Or if you have a high-end mobile with you, but you use it only for calling your friends and family, it's not that the phone is not meant for calling. The phone is meant for calling as well. But when you have a super model of phone with you, an ultra model phone with you, you can do many more things with that. So realizing the true potential, the complete range of Jyotisha enables us to enhance our knowledge about Jyotisha. Therefore, I would define Jyotisha as something that not only helps us in understanding our karma phala through grahas and nakshatras, but also leads us, paves us the pathway towards attaining that ultimate light, towards attaining that Paranjyoti. So that fulfills, that brings Jyotisha to a full circle. Therefore, we can call it as Jyotisha. Why the word Jyoti is there? Because it has got this much depth. So that would be what Jyotisha is.
I never knew about the link between the Jyoti and the Jyotisha. It always felt like that is just a particular term given to them or the subject.
Yes. And there is an interesting concept in Jyotisha called as Drik-tulyatvam. I'll explain what is Drik-tulyatvam. Drik means our vision, and Tulyatvam means similarity. To bring similarity with our vision, it doesn't make any sense. What they are trying to say is calculation is one part. The mathematical calculations that we do is one part, which is also an integral part of Jyotisha, by the way. The second one is observation of the planetary movements. Now these two should be similar. This is called as Drik-tulyatvam. Level 1 of Drik-tulyatvam is our mathematical calculations should match with the planetary movements in the sky. Now this is where usually Drik-tulyatvam is defined and ended. But there is a hidden level to this. That is, the planetary movements, especially the graha movements, happen within us. Because karma phala is akin to us. Karma phala is close to us. It is encrypted within us. We are nothing but a result of our previous karma phalas. So if we are to map the movements of grahas, or if we are to map the movements of these grahas within us, then it is possible through Jyotisha. So it's not only sufficient to have the similarity between the mathematical calculations and the planetary motion or planetary movements in the sky, but it is also equally important to map these two to the internal movements of grahas, that is the placeholders of our previous karma phala. Only then Jyotisha comes a full circle. That's when it starts to make sense. How are we going to connect with these planets that are thousands and thousands of miles apart from us? This is how we can map them with us.
So, Vishwanath ji, as you said, these planets are so many miles, thousands of miles away. How does it affect us? Because what we've been told is like one of the very famous terms is Shani Bhari hai,
Yeah.
or something like that.
Correct.
So if the planet is so far away, how is it affecting me in my daily life? And sometimes there's the term which is Sade Sati.
Yeah.
And they say, Arey, Sade Sati hai, so
Correct.
there's a problem.
Yeah.
Shani Bhari hai, it's going to take you through a lot of turmoil.
True.
Why is it affecting me when it's so far away?
Yeah. I'll give you an example which was given by my teacher. I fondly remember that. If we have to prepare chutney, we need coconut.
Right.
So what is called as coconut? It's a very simple question. You pose this question to anybody, what is coconut? You find 10 people answering in 10 different ways. Arey, how is it possible? A farmer views coconut as the complete one, the whole one that is found on the tree. Whereas a housewife or the chef, he finds only the white grate that they get as coconut. He identifies only that white grate as coconut. Now you can see the difference. It has gone through that entire journey from being that big thing available on the tree to the white grate available in the kitchen. Throughout its journey, it is referred to as coconut. So the same thing is applicable here as well. So likewise, the planets are called as planets because they carry this aspect with them. So they are like the holders of the records of previous karma. So when they are holding the records of our previous karma, we can either directly refer to the previous karmas itself, or we can refer to the wrapper around it. The wrapper around it is Shani, Kuja, Ravi, Buddha, these grahas. When we say that Shani Bhari hai, what we actually mean is the karma phalas that Shani is denoting, the graha Shani or the graha aspect of Shani, which is denoting the karma phala, is Bhari hai. That is going to play an important role, that is going to make a deeper impact on our day-to-day life. This is what we mean when we say Shani Bhari hai. And the way to understand this is the same thing that we can see in the sky, but it works in a different way here. It is the same coconut that is available on the tree.
Correct.
It is called as coconut when it is seen on the tree. But when it comes to the kitchen, it comes in a different format. It is the essence of it. Likewise, the essence of Shani in this statement is that the karma phala that Shani is denoting, the karma phala that he is referring to. So, logically speaking, it is not such a huge mistake to call something with its placeholder. We usually refer to that. It's a common practice that we do. We go to a bus stand and there are plenty of buses standing there, and a layman asks the driver or the conductor or some other passenger there, does this bus take me to Bangalore or some other place? Now he would not refer to the bus, but he would say that he would simply point his fingers at a bus and says that Bangalore. That bus is not Bangalore. That bus is going to take us towards Bangalore, but we still refer to that as Bangalore.
Correct.
Likewise, we can refer to the planet, the heavenly body that is thousands and thousands of miles away from us, that this is Shani. It is Shani because it has this impact that it is going to do on us, and that impact is happening within us, and we have mapped it, we have understood it, and we have related it with that planet. So it's a rhetoric statement, and it must be taken with this sense, with this spirit. My teacher always used to use this word, that we have to take things in the right spirit. So this is the right spirit of understanding planets, rather than imagining that such a heavenly body which is thousands of miles away, how can it make an impact on us?
Correct.
Its rays can barely touch even the surface of the earth, then how can it influence a human being? So this is what is intended when we say Shani Bhari hai, and we are trying to map it with it because it's always good to have a reference. Imagine a child who has never seen a coconut tree in his entire life. He has known coconut only by the big basket, all thanks to big basket, they provide the grated coconut.
Correct.
It comes in the actual form. Now the kid has never seen it. Now you take him to a farmhouse and you show him that this is the coconut tree. He would be alarmed, he would be surprised to see that. So, and then he can map it. Oh, this is coconut. He will start referring to that coconut by remembering the grated coconut in his mind.
Correct.
Likewise, Shani bhari hai, Sade Sati chal raha hai, all these planets are referred to those heavenly bodies with this intention. It is rather a nice way of connecting ourselves with the nature.
Understand.
While referring to the things that are within ourselves or that are happening within ourselves.
Sure. So while these planets have an effect on us, how can we use them effectively to our advantage?
Yeah. This part of graha that we are discussing is only one half of our approach towards life, which by the way is also again missing in the current world, which is quite unfortunate if you ask me, because there are two important concepts that we need to focus here. One is daivam, another one is purushartha. Purusha prayatna is human effort, and daivam is what we bring, or the result, the compilation of all the previous karma phalas. So if there is a long history of karma phala related to me, it is a personal file that has been maintained, and you may ask, where has it been maintained? It has been maintained within ourselves. We can access that file because it stays with us. It sticks with our system. Without that, it is like that chip. You cannot sell a chip separately, and you cannot remove the chip from an electronic device and still ask that electronic device to function to its fullest potential. Like how a chip is integral part of an electronic system, likewise the records of our previous karma is also integral to us. So when we have this sort of a system already existing within us, it becomes easier if we get to know what is the status of our previous karma, because karmas are not dormant by any measure. They do appear to stay dormant, but some of them gain pace, some of them begin to give their consequences immediately. Jyotisha, by the way, is the study of karma phala. If Jyotisha is defined by any other method, they are wrong. I'm sorry to say this, but they are wrong if they do not define Jyotisha as the study of karma phala. I can quote from Varahamihira when he says that yadupachitam anya janmani shubha shubham tattasya karmanah paktim vyanjayati shastrametat. This Jyotisha Shastra, vyanjayati, it depicts, it puts forth the report of all the karma, all types of karma, shubham karma, ashubham karma, whether they are good deeds or bad deeds. It doesn't make any difference in that. It gives an honest report. It is like preparing an internal audit, if you ask. So you put everything that has happened with your company on paper and submit it to an auditor, and he is going to correct whether this is right or wrong.
Right.
Likewise, this Jyotisha acts like a lamp. Now, when we light a lamp in a dark room, it reveals the things that we want to see. It also reveals the things that we do not wish to see. It is not the lamp's fault. It is about our perspective. So Jyotisha reveals all details related to our previous karma. So if we are aware of our previous karma, then we can understand what kind of effort is required from my end so that I remain aligned with my previous karma. It's like a sailor knowing the movement of the wind. Somebody is interested in sailing, but he says that I do not wish to study the wind. I don't want to use the wind movements for sailing. You know that he is stupid, because without understanding the movements of wind, nobody can be a good sailor.
Correct.
You need to understand what is the favorable movement to sail ahead. Likewise, if we know what are our previous karmas, it becomes easier to push towards our ultimate goal of life, or how to avoid certain things in our life which will not only affect our current life but also affect our ultimate goal. The ultimate purpose of life is to realize who we truly are. Self-realization is the ultimate goal. Atma-jnanam, to know what I truly am, to understand my true identity is the ultimate purpose of life. Right. So in this path, if there are any uncertainties, if there are any impediments, then I get to know what kind of action should I perform, what kind of course of action should I take. And that will be helpful if we can map it with the available data. It's like how investors use the previous year's data in order to further their investment in a particular company. So it becomes the company's responsibility to give financial statements every year or every quarter. Just like that, if we take a reading of our previous karma, it becomes easier for us to realize how we should plan ahead. So that's why it is important for us to understand our previous karma or take a look into Jyotisha, so that we can map it with Purusha Prayatna. Purusha Prayatna is human effort, and Daiva is, Daivam always refers to the previous karma.
Now, Daivam is not a blessing which the God gives us.
No.
It is again based on our own past karmas,
yes.
which is stored and coming into play.
I'm going to give you one line that is going to put rest to all of this debate. It is from Bhagavad Gita, where Krishna says, "Na kartrutvam, na karmani lokasya srijati prabhu." So Ishvara does not create the kartrutvam, the doership, or the idea of doer. He doesn't create kartas. He doesn't create karmas either. Swabhavastu pravartate. It is all happening because of sattva, rajas, and tamas. It is all the various variations of trigunas. So we cannot simply put the blame on God, because that's not how God has been conceptualized in our Samskriti. Because for us, there are certain darshanas where we do not believe in the existence of God. There are certain philosophies in our school of thought. So it is about understanding our previous karma and adjusting, aligning our efforts, and it goes good. It becomes good if we can map ourselves with the previous karmas. If we are going against it, then obviously we are going to get hurt. If we are in alignment with it, our sailing becomes smoother. That's why we need to understand daiva. One word of caution in this is, too much reliance on daiva is bad. Again, too much reliance on Purusha Prayatna is bad. One needs to find that balance. If somebody is too much invested in Daivam, everything, Daiva will take care. Nothing. Daiva will not take care of everything. You need to put an effort from your end as well.
Correct.
Nahi suptasya simhasya parvishanti mukhe mrigaha is what Panchatantra says. It says that just because you are the lion, you are the king of the jungle, and you have been asleep with your mouth wide open, just because you are the king of the jungle and you are asleep with your mouth wide open, the animals will not come and fall into your mouth. You have to wake up, you have to start working, and you have to hunt for yourself.
Correct.
So Purusha Prayatna is required. But you have been put in some specific order because of your previous karma.
Correct.
There are good things about it. There are pros and cons to everything that we get. Just because somebody is up on the food chain, it doesn't mean that they are blessed with everything.
They also have to work hard.
Yes. And also they have some shortcomings as well.
Correct.
So to know these things and balance out between Daiva and Purusha Prayatna, that is the whole purpose of Jyotisha. It is a wonderful science to know, to make our life easier towards achieving the ultimate purpose of life. That's how I personally view Jyotisha, rather than a remedial methodology. It is much more than that.
Yeah, I think the perception is it's going to be a quick fix for me.
Yeah.
If I'm going through any issues, let's get to an astrologer, find the fix, do whatever is required, and then hope that the result
will be good. Yeah.
Correct. So I have also, while you were talking about the balance between Daiva and the effort.
Yeah.
I remember a example which I was told by my father that if your time is favorable,
Yes.
and say suppose you're destined to get a lottery, he says the result of the lottery again is in your hands,
Yeah.
because you're going to go and buy a 10 rupee lottery or a 100 or 100 crore
It
lottery
depends on you.
is on you. So you have to go and work.
Correct. Correct.
So based on what your effort is, that's how you're going to get your phala as well.
Correct.
So I think this is very much aligned with.
Also, on the same example, if I have to dig a little bit deeper on that, how does a person determine whether I should buy a 10 rupee lottery or a 100 rupee lottery? How much should I invest in this lottery?
It's always the greed which tells, right?
Yeah. Unfortunately, it is the greed that has been driving
Correct.
force.
Always.
But it should not be. It may not be the greed that will drive us towards there. It could be the proper analytical report of our previous karma as well. That's where Jyotisha steps in. I'm in no way suggesting that anybody who wants to buy lottery should consult an astrologer. I'm not suggesting that.
Yeah.
But the thing is, if I am going to involve myself, if I am going to start a new work, I should be able to see what my previous history says, my personal previous history, whether the condition is favorable for me or not. So if I know my condition is favorable for this particular task, anyway I am willing to work hard. So why not channelize my hard work towards a place or towards a cause that actually favors me, rather than go against it and waste all my hard work.
So if I've understood you correctly, you're saying that I can choose a career path
Yes.
which is favorable for me
Yes.
based on my astrology or Jyotisha.
Yes, absolutely.
So I will be able to actually judge that out. If I have 4 options,
Yes.
one is favorable, second is not favorable, third is very favorable.
Correct. Correct.
So effort for all of them will be the same in terms of success.
Yes.
But I should go with something, and that's where astrology comes
Yes. There is no alternative for hard work. And
Of course.
none of our Shastras actually promote that kind of a thought. They all have said that you have to work hard. It doesn't matter whether what kind of status, social status you enjoy, whether you are a Brahmana or a Kshatriya or a Vaishya or a Shudra, it doesn't matter. Everyone needs to work. But it is better if you know where you should put your hard work. It's always better to know where I should put all my energy. So that way, I'm not wasting my energy. And moreover, human life is very feeble. We get it for only a small duration. For us, it may feel like 80 years, 90 years is a long time.
Correct.
But in terms of the big time, it is a very small thing. It's a very tiny thing. So whatever limited time we get in our life, we must make the most of it without compromising on achieving the ultimate purpose of life. That must not be compromised at all. So instead of wasting our time using the trial and error method, I felt like doing this, so I am doing this. 10 days later, I'm not feeling it, bro. That's why I'm quitting this, I'm starting this. That is ridiculous, if you ask me. So that's what Arjuna was also feeling. A day before the war began, he felt like he is going to bring victory home against all the odds, because the Duryodhana's army was stacked up. They had numerical advantage, and yet Arjuna promised Yudhishthira, his elder brother, that he shall bring home the triumph, the victory shall be theirs. And what happened on the day of battle, everybody knows, the world knows.
Correct.
He wanted to run away. And what did Krishna tell him? If you are not feeling it, bro, quit. No, quitting is not an option. If it is your job, you should never quit. You should work hard. Isn't that the gist of the entirety of Bhagavad Gita? That's what Krishna said. You are a warrior, so you must fight. There is no other option. You cannot run away from your duties. So hard work is a must. It is better if we align it with our previous karma as well. So if daiva and purusha prayatna can go hand in hand, it is a wonderful life. If any one of them supersedes the other, well, it is a mess. It is chaos.
Oh, it is a mess.
Yeah. There are some people who rely heavily on purusha prayatna and they regret at the fag end of their life. And then there are people who rely heavily on daiva. That everything God will take care, God will take care. What are you doing? You are not taking care of God. You are not taking care of your previous karma, and you cannot expect your previous karma to take care of you. Devan bhavayatanena te deva bhavayantuvaha parasparam bhavayantaha shreyah paramavapsyatha is what Sri Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita. You need to be in sort of an alignment. You need to have that cohesion between your previous karma and your current hard work. Only then things will work. So to answer the question directly, yes, in choosing a career path, yes, Jyotisha can definitely help. It's up to you. If you are willing to take a challenge against the daiva, be my guest. I have no concerns about it. It is your life after all. But if you are smart enough, if you are wise enough, you would put your money, you will put your hard work in the right path.
Got it.
Otherwise, you are simply going to waste your energy. Be my guest. Shastra doesn't say that you cannot do this, you should do this. It's not like that. This is why you must have heard whenever astrologers speak, they would put it in a very subtle way. They say that there is a yoga for this. It looks favorable for this. Because ultimately it is you, the decision maker is you.
Correct.
How you want to pursue it is up to you.
They are giving you a probability.
That's it.
That this is a possibility in your life.
Yes.
But you need to work for
Yes.
it.
It is like you have the chart with you. The chart itself is the encrypted analytical report. Our charts, our horoscopes are the encrypted analytical charts of our previous karma. Unfortunately, I am not aware how to decrypt it. But an astrologer knows how to decrypt it. He has decrypted it and he has revealed all the details to you. He has given you the report, he has read out the report to you. So after that, what you do with that report is up to you. It's only astrology or Jyotisha is only permissible to generate the report, to read out the report in a way that normal people can understand. It doesn't suggest anything. Suggestions come later on. If they ask you to suggest something, then it is up to your viveka. It is up to your discretion whether you want to guide them rightly or wrongly. If they, many factors come into existence at that point, whether that person takes advices or not, what kind of a person he is, those things are all on a different level. But Jyotisha does its job perfectly. Its job is to provide us with the report, actual report, and it does that. That job is done. Its job is done. We can't put the blame on Jyotisha for the mishaps that happen in our life, because Jyotisha is not doing anything to us. It is only giving the report to us.
So it is our karma which is coming back to us.
Yes, yes. If anybody needs to be blamed, it is us who needs to be blamed, because it is only us who committed such kind of nonsensical things in some part of our life, which has come back to haunt us.
And not only just this life.
Any life.
Any life.
Yeah. Without properly understanding the theory of karma, the varieties of karma, the divisions and categories of karma, one cannot simply go through Jyotisha. Jyotisha would be meaningless without the proper understanding of karma theory. So one needs to understand karma theory, only then Jyotisha begins to make sense. Otherwise, it is senseless to most of them.
Senseless. I understand. So, when we are talking about the daiva and the effort, purusha prayatna, while I now understand how planets can affect us, how we can take advantage or not take advantage, maybe how we can pursue our career paths or the way forward. The last time when I was chatting with you, I got to know about the Kutumba Prashna Kundali. Till this time I only knew about Kundali, which is a normal horoscope.
Correct.
And you introduced me to this new concept. So if you can share the difference between the two and how is it better than the other? Are both on the same level? If you can throw some light.
It's a wonderful question. They say that there are 6 limbs of Jyotisha. Like how Vedas have 6 limbs: Shiksha, Vyakarana, Chandas, Nirukta, Jyotisha and Kalpa, the 6 limbs of Vedas. Jyotisha also has 6 limbs. Jataka, Gola, Nimitta, Prashna, Muhurtakhya, Ganita Namani, Abhidadhatiha Shadangani, Acharya, Jyotishe Mahashastre is what Prashna Marga says. So Jataka, that is horoscope, Kundali, is one limb of Jyotisha. Then comes Gola. Gola is a study of astronomy, that is Gola. And then Nimitta, omens, study of omens. Jataka, Gola, Nimitta. The 4th limb is Prashna. So they have given equal importance to both Jataka as well as Prashna. So I'm trying to answer the questions in a different order. So neither of them supersedes the other.
Okay.
So Jataka and Prashna are both equally important. One complements the other, one completes the other.
Okay.
This is the Shastric view of Prashna and Jataka. They say that Yada Jatakatav Prashnaha Gunadoshair Vibhidyate. This is the line taken from Prashna Marga. They say that when the Prashna is different from Jataka, you follow Prashna. Prashna is more precise. They are not demeaning Jataka. And if you can map, if you find both Jataka and Prashna along the similar lines, follow Jataka.
Okay.
The Jataka's phala is accurate then. You get more accuracy in terms of the report through the viewpoint of Prashna. So what is Prashna basically? Prashna is something, as the name itself suggests, it's about question. But that question is not asked by the Prichaka. The Prichaka is supposed to appear in front of the Daivagnya, that is the Jyotishi, and then the Jyotishi would request the Prichaka to compile all the questions that he may have in his mind. And then slowly they start analyzing. It's a deeper analysis. The details I cannot reveal it in such short time. But it is a wonderful system where so many details, so many intricate details that cannot be easily accessed via horoscope are revealed quite easily through Prashna. I have been very careful while choosing my words. It is just that through horoscope, it takes a lot of time in order to access these informations. Whereas with Prashna, it becomes very easier. So we get to know about the family, the ancestors, and their karmas, how the karmas of ancestors, some actions of our ancestors have been impacting on us. All these can be studied with Prashna. Whereas horoscope is a very individualistic approach. It reveals details only about one person. Prashna, as you mentioned, Kutumba Prashna, is something that reveals the details of the whole family.
Okay.
It's like horoscope is a specialization in one person. Kutumba Prashna is general medicine, like MBBS in general medicine. And then if you want specialization, you want to be a heart surgeon, then you focus only on that person's Jataka. You pick only that particular person and then you can analyze him as well. But as a whole, the entire Kutumba, how has they been throughout all these years? That needs a study as well, because every single family in our country has got something to contribute to the nation. Not in terms of GDP or not in terms of tax money, but in terms of dharma. They are an integral part of our nation. So if one family is going on the wrong path, if one family is on the path of being rotten, then it is our social responsibility to bring them back on the right path, or at least give them the analysis. See, this is how your family has performed over the years. So if you can get it sorted out, it is good, not only for your family, but also for the nation. But if you want to continue in the same path, we can't help you. It all has got that national integration, which again has been missing, unfortunately, in our country. They have alienated Shastras from national integration. There is no nationalistic spirit that has been spoken about our Shastras, which is quite unfortunate because every single Shastra is somehow deeply connected with Artha Shastra. Artha Shastra is the Shastra for governance, administration. So they are all deeply connected with nation. We are contributing to nation. So there are plenty of such examples. One person was doing a wrong thing, or he was pursuing the right thing in a wrong way during the rule of Rama, and he had to take care of that. It is whose responsibility? It is the king's responsibility. Sometimes the king cannot be present everywhere, so he has his cabinet, he has his people to take care of that. And Jyotishis come under the king's orders. They are supposed to take care of the society. They are supposed to lead the path for society. And this is where Prashna plays an important role in analyzing how the family has performed. There might have been some troubles in the family. Every family has got some problem. And in Kannada we say that elru mane dose nu tute. It means that every dosa that we find in the world, it has holes. You cannot prepare. There are 100 types of dosas these days, but still they could not come up with a holeless dosa. It is impossible. And the dosa will have some loopholes in it. So likewise, every family will have some loopholes. So whether those loopholes can be fixed for their own betterment, also for the betterment of the society and nation, we can analyze it with the help of Prashna.
Understand. So when you're saying about, when you're talking about the horoscope, you need a date, you need a place, you need a time.
Yeah.
Do you need similar details for a Prashna as well?
Not exactly. They say that the moment the Prichaka arrives to question or to seek analysis from the Jyotishi, that time itself serves as his birth details. So we don't need to go deeper into his birth details.
So even before he is asked the question?
Yes. The moment he arrives in front of the Jyotishi, that time, that place is sufficient for Prashna.
And based on that,
yes,
you are able to understand his past?
Yes. Not just his past, his entire family's past.
Okay.
Prashna usually digs deeper into it. It enhances. It's like having a lens, an extra lens added to the camera, which will enhance the camera's ability to capture things. So horoscope can give an analysis of an individual, whereas Prashna can enhance that analysis report with giving insight into a person's family. So the time and place when the person approaches the Jyotishi is sufficient for Prashna.
Okay.
So that's why time plays an important role.
Correct. So I think this is quite interesting for me to actually understand astrology a little more in detail. I'm sure it's a lot more in detail, but at my level I think is quite good. And of course we are going to be having the astrology services on our website very soon. Dr. Vishwanath ji is going to be taking these astrology consultations one-on-one personally. Of course, we will share all the details on the website and you can book the slot and we can move forward from there. Thank you so much. Thank you, Vishwanath ji. Thank you.
Namaste.